This isn't your typical Minecraft survival world. This is RLCraft Bedrock Edition, a completely reimagined experience packed with custom mobs, a unique skill system, and a world that completely pushes you to adapt, explore, and evolve. Hello everyone, my name is Wolf, and whether you're a seasoned adventurer or a total newcomer, this version of RLCraft will challenge everything you know about Minecraft. This video will act as a walkthrough of the essentials when first starting out so that you can not just survive, but start mastering this wild and unforgiving world. So what exactly is RLCraft? Well, it's a mod pack originally made for Java Edition by Shivaxi, and it turns Minecraft into a survival nightmare. Think dragons, thirst, temperature, realistic health, and mobs that want you dead from the moment you spawn in. The Bedrock edition of RLCraft was developed entirely by Honeyfrost, the same team behind the Bedrock port of Mousy's mobs, with some oversight from Shivaxi himself. While it's not a one-to-one replica of the Java version, it still delivers the same intense, hardcore survival experience. Now, first things first, how do you get RLCraft on Bedrock? Well, you'll need to download the dynamic world from the Minecraft Marketplace. And no, this is not an add-on, meaning unless you're on PC, you won't be able to use things like Better on Bedrock at the same time. Follow the installation instructions carefully, and make sure that if you're running other add-ons to have RLCraft at the top of the load order. This will give priority to all of the mechanics and world generation to RLCraft, making sure that your game runs as smoothly as possible. Your first steps in RLCraft are critical, and thankfully you're not thrown in completely blind. Honeyfrost included a fantastic interactive tutorial complete with a fully voice-acted, sass-filled dragon to guide you through the basics. It's a great way to get your bearings without feeling like a newborn giraffe that was just dropped into chaos. Right at the start, you'll choose your difficulty. Easy, medium, or hard. Each one changes how punishing the world is, so choose wisely. Once you load in, you'll notice RLCraft comes with its own custom animations. Now while you can run other animation packs like actions and stuff, it's still a little buggy, so for the smoothest experience, it's best to run RLCraft on its own or with minimal add-ons. Now that you've landed with your super cool hero pose, let's talk about what you need to do to survive on your first day. Now you can't simply begin by walking up to a tree and punching it for wood. That's just unrealistic, and this is RLCraft. First, you'll need to find yourself some flint. Find and break gravel to get flint. Take said flint and throw it against some stone to break it into fragments. Break leaves to make sticks. Craft a flint knife. Using that flint knife, you need to break grass to get plant fibers. Once you have plant fibers, you can then craft a flint hatchet, which will allow you to chop trees for wood. This early progression is your lifeline. Flint tools are your first real breakthrough, and wood tools open up the door to crafting, shelter, and basic defense. But don't get comfortable, because you can't even use those wooden tools until you've leveled up your skills. That's right, just having the gear isn't enough. You'll need to earn the right to wield them, and that means grinding XP, leveling up, and staying alive long enough to make it count. RLCraft Bedrock features a simplified but powerful skill tree. You'll need to level up to unlock better gear and abilities. So here's your UI breakdown. You have attack for melee weapons, defense for armor, agility for ranged weapons and movement, and mining for tool access and resource gathering. So here's how it works. Each skill level requires a full XP level in order to upgrade. So if your defense is at level 2, you'll need to reach 3 levels of XP before you can allocate a point to upgrade a skill. No shortcuts, just grind and survive. Each one of these skill trees will grant different bonuses, from gaining speed, to having increased health, to gaining the enchantment Infinity for all of your bows. As you level up each category, you will unlock more and more bonuses. You'll also see power level off to the right side of the screen. This is the overall power level of your equipped gear and trinkets. The better tier gear you have and the rarer your items, the higher this level goes. Now most players are used to managing hunger, but in RLCraft, that's just the beginning. You'll also need to watch your thirst and temperature, both of which will kill you just as fast as any mob. Unlike the Java version, thirst is pretty straightforward. There's no purification system here. You can drink straight from any water source, or even just physically standing in the water will slowly refill your thirst bar. Temperature is one of RLCraft's many dangers, and it can kill you fast. If you're too cold, you start taking damage. Too hot? Same deal. Deserts, snowy biomes, and even deep caves can mess with your body temperature. And in some areas, it's nearly impossible to stay balanced without the right gear or items. And don't even think about walking into the Nether unprepared. Unless you found some frostberries or ember fruit. Frostberries, which look like blue sweet berries, grow in cold and forested biomes. They can be planted and harvested to collect more, but eating one gives you heat resistance 1. And ember fruit look like tiny little peppers and work the same way, but are found in warm and desert biomes. These grant frost resistance 1. All of this is happening while you're dodging mobs, managing hunger, and grinding XP to use basic tools. That's why building a shelter is key. Even a dirt hut can save your life. Get a roof over your head, stash your loot, and give yourself a safe place to breathe. You'll thank yourself later. RLCraft adds a brutal twist to the health system. You don't just have hearts anymore. The game also tracks damage to individual body parts. Break your legs, you'll move slower. Take a hit to the head, you go blind. Injure your arms, say goodbye to swinging your sword or mining effectively. You'll need to craft bandages, health potions, or find special items to recover your health above and beyond just making sure you have food to eat. It's a system that makes every injury feel dangerous and every fight that much riskier. Speaking of which, let's talk about the mobs. These aren't your average zombie or skeletons. Honeyfrost has created a terrifying lineup of custom creatures. Some fly, some burrow, some explode, and 99% of them are aggressive or will attack you if you look at them the wrong way. You'll need to learn their patterns, avoid unnecessary fights, and gear up before taking them on. As you gain levels and experience, so do the mobs you will encounter. World bosses will begin to spawn as you progress, with each one having a new terrifying set of moves and abilities you can either face for better loot or run away from until you're better prepared. Exploration in RLCraft is thrilling, but perilous. Scattered across the world are pirate ships, ancient ruins, towering battle structures, and sprawling dungeons. These locations are packed with valuable loot, but they're fiercely guarded by deadly mobs and sometimes even a massive boss that protects the final treasure. Honeyfrost took inspiration from Minecraft's trial chambers, adding a unique twist to some of these locations. Mob spawners reset on a timer, so even if you clear out an area and decide to return later, don't expect it to stay safe. You'll need to fight your way through again. These challenges are absolutely worth the risk for the reward, but make no mistake, some of these locations are not for the faint of heart. However, not everything in RLCraft is hostile. Some entities are actually super helpful, especially the ones that trade. Early on, keep an eye out for friendly NPCs who accept coins in exchange for useful items. Coins come in 3 types: bronze, silver, and gold. You can find them as mob drops in chests or sometimes in small pots that are scattered around some of these structures. You can combine lower tier coins into higher ones. Most of, if not all, these special traders will be found in some type of structure, whether that be a small hut near the beach or a house in the forest. Somewhere inside or around these structures you can also find Weystones. These can be used to mark certain locations and fast travel back and forth between stones. There is currently no way to remove or pick up a naturally spawning Weystone, so use each one that you find very carefully. One of the coolest features in the Bedrock edition is the Trinket System, passive items that give you powerful bonuses by just having them equipped. You'll find trinkets by looting chests, dropped by mobs, or some can even be crafted. There are trinkets that boost your health, others that give resistances, and some can even negate temperature effects. Choose wisely though, you only have a fixed amount of slots: 3 medallions and 3 rings. Some of these are easier to get early on, like the goat horns, which lowers the effect of mining fatigue. This can be made with 2 goat horns, 2 power shards, and a power crystal. Or you can take on the Goat King for a chance for them to drop. Another is the Great Shield, which can be crafted with 25 iron and a shield, or sometimes dropped by knights. This will give you additional health. You can go a step further and combine the 2 of these to create the Great Horn Shield. This will grant you 4 extra hearts, negate all knockback, and gives you resistance to mining fatigue. In addition to the Great Horn Shield, keep your eye out for Withered Bones. Combining 3 of these bones, 2 power shards, and 1 gold ingot will make the Wither Necklace. This will grant all of your attacks Wither Aspect 1. The world of RLCraft is unforgiving, but if you know what to prioritize, you can survive a lot longer. Early on, your best bet is to focus on healing and health boosting items. Craft bandages, brew healing flasks, collect health crystals, and look for trinkets that offer regeneration. Bandages are your first line of defense. They're easy to craft using bone meal and either plant fiber or string, and they help you restore limb health while also kickstarting regeneration. Don't underestimate them. They are the difference between walking away and crawling. Flask o' Healing is another early game lifesaver. You'll find them in dungeon chests or dropped by mobs, but you can also craft one using a red mushroom, scarlet root, and a healing potion. They're a little slow to use, but they'll patch you up when you need it most. as you start fighting tougher mobs, you'll notice some drop glowing red shards. These are health shards. Collect 9 of these to craft a health crystal, which will permanently increase your max HP. Just be careful. If you die, those bonus hearts are gone. You want passive healing? Craft the Ring of Regeneration, using 1 gold ring, 1 health crystal, and 2 health shards. It slowly heals your limbs over time, and if you choose easy mode when creating your world, you'll also have access to the teddy bear trinket, which stacks with the ring for even faster healing. This world is brutal, so expect to die a lot. But don't panic, RLCraft's Gravestone system has your back. When you fall, a gravestone will spawn at that spot, marked with your name and locked to you alone. After respawning, simply walk up to your gravestone and interact with it to recover all your gear. Nobody else can access it, so your loot stays safe from grave robbers. All of this information can be overwhelming, and at times it's very easy to get distracted. What with all the beautiful new areas to explore, crazy new mobs everywhere, and hundreds of new structures, it's pretty intense. But here's what I think you should aim to focus on during your first few in-game days. Craft flint and wooden tools, build a safe shelter, level up skills to unlock better gear, explore smaller structures cautiously for loot and XP, and learn mob behavior and avoid risky fights. Don't rush into combat, focus on progression, and you'll be ready to take on the world soon enough. One add-on I would actually recommend new players run in addition to RLCraft is the Health Bars add-on by Orville Studios. This is also downloadable from the marketplace, but gives every mob, custom and vanilla, an HP value above their head. This was huge when first starting out, as it gave me a sense of which mobs I could challenge in a fight versus the ones I should 100% avoid until later. And that is everything you will need to begin your RLCraft Bedrock adventure. It's intense, it's unforgiving, but it's absolutely worth the challenge. However, this is not the end. There is still a ton more to learn about in this world. And if you guys liked this beginner's guide, comment down below with part 2 if you want me to continue to a more advanced guide that will include more of the mid to late game progressions, covering things like dragons, special armor and weapon abilities, some of the more difficult bosses that you might come across throughout your journey. In the meantime, myself and a friend are currently heads down working on a full RLCraft wiki to help players dive deeper into the mechanics, mobs, and progression systems. The official release date will be announced very soon, so stay tuned for that. Honeyfrost is still actively working on a few bugs, which is understandable for any new release, so if you have any huge issues, head over to their official Discord, which I will link in the description, and submit a ticket if you need someone to help. For those of you who are following along with my channel, the 100-day challenge is still very much underway. I will be finishing that up soon, but wanted to get this out there for you guys and anyone else curious when starting out in RLCraft. And as per usual, if you found the video helpful or enjoyable in any way, do me a favor and smash that like button. And if you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more, a sub would be greatly appreciated. We are getting closer and closer to 10,000 followers every single day. What do you guys think we should do to celebrate? I'm open for ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming and watching, and remember, stay sharp, stay hydrated, and I will see you all in the next one. Wolf, out!